Thank you so much for staying tuned. This is the first Sunday's edition for the year 2021. Welcome to TMI, and this is a new year, and it's all about setting an agenda for the Nigerian government, because people have been talking a lot about what transpired in 2020. Most of them have this bitter story to tell, and expectations are quite high. We talk about Nigerian citizens clamoring for a better life, yearning for a better life. So what angle, what aspect should the Nigerian government really focus on this year, 2021? We'll take it from 2 or 3 angles, because I have other guests in the studio. But right here with me in the studio, I have Professor Uniben, a lecturer in Uniben. Join me to welcome Professor Ralph Ehigato. Welcome to TMI Sunday's edition.
Good morning, Mr. Wilson. And Happy New Year to viewers at home.
Yeah, it's good to see you. This is the first time we're seeing this year, right? I saw you last year.
Yes.
And that goes out to all of them also. Somebody close to Prof is a political analyst. Join me to welcome Comrade Odige Owajai. Welcome to TMI. Comrade, I appreciate your coming.
Yeah, good morning. How are you? Good morning, everybody at home.
All right. And the man sitting very close to me is a legal practitioner, an agriculturist, an entrepreneur, political analyst. Join me to welcome Barrister Robinson Imade. Welcome to TMI.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate your coming.
Happy New Year, everybody.
All right. Yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. This is definitely a new year. Many Nigerians are expectant. They are hoping so much on the government to make them smile, because many have this bitter story to tell when we talk about 2020 as it just passes into 2021. I want to start off from you, Prof. As someone that imparts knowledge, you might have seen or heard tales from your students about the way they are faring. Now, you to be part of the society, you might have seen things also for yourself. Taking a look at 2020 in retrospect, what do you think we should focus on right now?
Yeah, 2020 is a year that we cannot be forgotten so easily. Starting from the event system, we had a strike. Just recently it was called off. And the next thing was COVID. Apart from COVID, we have a lot of security in the Nigeria system, and for you know, we have NSAS and a lot more. So this year, I will be believing that the federal government will try to attend to this issue of the solution to NSAS, because the youth are clamoring for employment and good life. Want to live a good life. Nobody want to leave this country if the country is good to stay. The other thing is insecurity. You cannot travel on the road any longer. You are fear of kidnapping or being killed on the road and a lot more. So the place government should focus on. And the incident ASU strike, for me, I'm tired of it. That's true, because in the first instance, we are not achieving our aim. Because today we have memorandum of agreement, of understanding. I don't need no implementation. Before you know, I should go on strike. So if you ask me, we have not been achieving our aims. That's my view, my personal view. So apart from the issues, the issue of road infrastructure. Anywhere, you can't travel anywhere before Christmas. The road are bad. There was a day I was coming from Port Harcourt. I got to what you call it, Chaplain, around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I got to Benin 8 o'clock because of bad road. So from the east to the west, the road are bad. Government should look at all those things so that we can live a better life. And that thing is cost of living is very, very, very high. I was thinking that we might not be able to do Christmas, but God has a way of doing things. Things are very, very expensive. So let's make my case so that my other colleague can continue.
All right. I will come back to you, Professor Rav. Now, as a coordinator of the Nigerian Initiative, Comrade Odige, I know that the plight of Nigerians are just there embedded in your heart. He talked about the end SARS demand, 5 of 8, and our president said he's going to see to it. Let's take it off from that angle because it's all encompassing end SARS that gave birth to so many other protests. Now, what do you feel about it? If the 5 points raised by the protesters are taken care of, do you think that Nigerians will smile 2021?
I don't think so. The year 2020 was a year for unfulfilled dreams. We're already in 2021. I feel that the promise the president made was a gimmick. They lured the youths to abdicate the NSA protects. Within a short period of time, they started arresting them. They prevented some from traveling. They froze some of their accounts. So it became so obvious that the federal government was not sincere with their approach. This same federal government turned around and alleged that the protesters were sponsored, by terrorist organizations.
And they were terrorists, because they got terrorists.
These same protesters were killed.
Yes.
And the federal government denied that the army did not kill anybody. Should I now believe the president telling us in his New Year message that they will implement the demands of the NSAS movement? When you look at the demands, the 5 demands, 4 were for the benefits of the police. These same police, after the NSAS movement, refused. I say refused, especially in Edo State. I don't know about the northern states or other western states. Refused to do policing. We don't have police in Edo State.
No, because they are scared.
As of right now. Why will you not protect those that protested for you? Now, like I said, everything was a gimmick. If the northern states had participated in the NSAB movement, because ab initio, the 19 northern governors were against the NSAB movement. And the protesters were arrested. But in the same vein, the Boko Haram from the northern states, when they are arrested, they are rehabilitated and injected into the Nigerian military. But in our case, they are tagged, terrorists.
All right. I will come back to you shortly. Now, you just hold on. I will come back to you. You talking about target them terrorists. They didn't tag all of them terrorists because so that the aim of the protest was hijacked by hoodlums. So they must say that those protesting are terrorists. Anyway.
No. The central government said it.
Yes.
The central government said it.
Not to worry, we'll come back to that. The central governor and the presidency, they are not the same. They're quite different. We'll come back to you on that. Now, this end SARS issue, he said from what he saw, from what he could feel, there's no sincerity in that portion of the speech of Mr. President. We're talking about setting an agenda right now for Nigerian government for the year 2021. And people like saying that the 5 demand of the NSAS protesters encompasses almost all things that Nigerians are yearning for.
Well, if you believe, Wilson, that the federal government is sincere it will only mean that you are insincere. The truth is, this government came in on 3 broad promises: the economy, security, and corruption. Can you tell me any of these 3 that has not gone, that has not skyrocketed since Buhari came on board? Corruption was not at this height when he came on board. The economy was not at all bad when he came on board. We are now the poverty capital of the world. And of course, security was not as bad as it is just now. Everything has gone from bad to worse, even from bad to worst under his watch. And of course, when the NSAS protest abruptly came on board, one would have expected that a government that knows that it came on board via the people's will will listen to the people. John Locke said that power is a social contract between the rulers and the ruled. And by the time the ruler betrays that contract, then something else happens. General Muhammadu Buhari, the president of Nigeria, in my opinion, does not feel a thing about how Nigerians feel. And so when the NSAS protest came, and we are arguing now, they didn't say they were terrorists. Somebody is saying here, they said they were hoodlums, hijacked it. Who were the hoodlums? Who hijacked the protest? Did we not see clips of government officials dropping up people with arms and clubs?
It could have been monitored clip.
Yes.
So we just can't put that clip.
That's what we saw.
It could have been monitored.
It never
could have been doctored.
I agree.
Yeah.
Doctors.
Yeah. So we need just
come
conclude.
out to deny. And no such hoodlum or terrorist or sponsor people, no one was arrested. In my opinion, the NSAS movement opened the eyes of Nigerians to knowing how terrible our government is. And government ought to take advantage of that to come up with, implementing the demands of the protest. If we talk about the 5 broad demands, what are the 5 demands? Who brought them about? I'm aware that certain people who were not even champions of the protest, otherwise they would have been arrested, were flown to Abuja, and they gave demands, which the federal government is talking about as the demands of the NSAS. And like has been said, 4 out of the 5 were in the interest of government. If Nigeria is to move forward, if we are to think about agenda for this government in 2021, one thing is principal. A professor has just said that he is tired of incessant strikes. What leads to the strike? He is frustrated, saying that they don't actualize their dreams as far as training the students are concerned.
Right.
The reason is our government's insensitivity to the plight of workers.
Okay.
In all spectrum of the workforce, there's shortage of manpower. Employment is key if this government wants to succeed in 2021.
Okay.
Just a minute. I was discussing with a group of military officers recently, and I asked, what is in the Sambisa forest that you are not able to take over? And I was told by them that they have taken over many times. By the time you take over, who now occupies the space? I said, why don't you leave some people to monitor? And they say, look, where they drive them from become empty. So even in the military, there is shortage of manpower. In the police, there is. In the civil service, there is. And yet, trillions are voted every year.
All right. I will come back to you, Barrister Robinson Imade. You talked about the government not being sensitive. There is an adage that if a man admits his fault, the man is on the path of redemption. After all, the president, during his speech, admitted the fact that 2020 was really a trying year for Nigerians. He admitted to that fact. He talked about the security challenges. He talked about the economy. And this is what he really wants to fix. There's an admittance by the presidency. They never denied it. Do you think that with that admittance of what went wrong in 2020, Nigerians will smile soon? Prof.
Yeah, you see, when you continue to do the same thing, with the same method all the time, are you expecting different results? Now, let's go to the issue of security. Everybody in this country, including you, have been clamoring for removal of service chief. What has been done?
Don't get me involved in this, okay? Mine's your uncle, and that's what I'm doing right now. So say your own news.
What we are doing the same thing, the same, you don't expect different result. That's the issue. Now, when you ask of infrastructure development, when you have somebody who is a capital in that field, heading the affair of that organization, what are you expecting? We have been hearing these promises every time, every day. We are not expecting different results. And that is the truth. Look at the issue of border closure. What is about to our country? It's pain. Rice was sold for 40,000, 5,000, a bag of rice. What is the salary of level first in government? 30,000. So the salary of the whole salary cannot buy a bag of rice. So what are we talking about? So this government, in my view, come up with policies that are mostly anti-people. That's my view.
Anti-people, yes. Don't forget that COVID-19 also impacted on the country, even globally.
Yes.
So are you going to blame the government totally?
Yes.
No, for no. Listen. Of the economy.
Listen.
What do you want the government to do?
COVID-19 was here first phase. The palliative were kept by governors. What are you talking about? The country is not here, but they were expecting a second wave, and we are here now. Those men and women, Nigerian people that are going through that first phase, they now have to terminate that starvation. In fact, COVID, people starvation killed more than COVID. So we are, when they say, when government say, when they mention something to me, I'll start waiting. But I know that the outcome will be the opposite. Look at the SARS of the thing. First of all, the ministry said it was fake news. Now later we don't heard that they went there. They say it's like bullet. They say it's not like bullet. What I'm talking about? God, you don't deceive your people. Propaganda cannot continue to be in this country. We support the administration because we believe that the change they clamor for was for a positive change. But you can see that change can either be positive or negative. And we know where we are now.
To add flavor to what he just said.
Okay.
President Mohamed Buhari came to power with a different agenda. Agenda that is different from the Nigerian agenda. When you look at his appointments, his body language, his utterances, and the yearnings of the people, he came for the interest of his ethnic nationality.
That is your own opinion. That is your own opinion, which is not correct. Many will oppose that.
I mean, let us face reality here.
Because right now you're generalizing.
Let us face reality.
Nepotism.
Okay, nepotism. I mean, clannishness. Are they not the same? Look at all the appointments. During the COVID, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs went round, according to her, round the 36 states of Nigeria, and she shared, palliative funds, 20,000. What I only saw was the woman from the north and her baby. And she said she went round, there was hardly, I quote, there was hardly any household in Nigeria that did not receive the 20,000.
I didn't receive.
I didn't receive.
I didn't receive. Maybe you should receive.
Maybe you received.
Don't get me wrong.
Maybe you received.
Focus on the discussions on ground.
So what we are trying to say is this. He came aboard with a different agenda. What he wanted is the presidency. The man had his brief of ideas. And since he has the presidency, he now moved into his.
Well, you cannot say that the president is bereft of ideas. He has think tanks that are doing the suggestions for him.
They are not helping issues. What I say, if everybody in Nigeria has been clamoring for the removal of the service chiefs, to him, the service chiefs, when they freed the 400 schoolboys recently, he came out and started praising the service, the military, that they did a very fantastic job. What did he do? They did it. It was Miyati Allah, a terrorist organization, that negotiated the release of those boys.
Hold it right now. No, hold it. This is where I put my foot down. You cannot say that Miyati Allah is a terrorist organization.
No, it is. Based on international United Nations, Miyati Allah is regarded or is tagged a terrorist group.
In Nigeria,
because the president is elected.
Hold on. Decorum, please.
Yeah.
In Nigeria, that group is not known as a terrorist group. Let's focus on that. So please,
outside Nigeria,
let's be guarded. Let's be guarded. I'll come back to you. Please, I'd like to tell us, despite the fact that what the country or the nation is going through can, make some emotion to like erupt. I'd like to crave our indigenous to please follow rules and regulations governing the airwaves. Please, we should not generalize. We should not say what cannot ascertain. These are the things that are not amicable with the rules and regulations governing the airwaves. Now, I'll come back to you. Barrister Imade, you are just giggling. We are taking a look at this issue because the president made lots and lots of promises. I'm just going through them right now. He talked about security because he has admitted to everything that Nigerians have been talking about. He didn't deny it. That is the first step, according to psychologists, of getting what you want. This is the problem, and he has promised a proper solution. Can't we take the president for his word? This is a new year, for crying out loud.
I wish we could. The new year would not have changed President Muhammadu Buhari. It's just a new year. It's second after 2019. And look at him from the campaign periods. Even before 2015 that he took over. How many promises did he make? Did he not tell us he was going to make $1
Naira? They're just campaign promises.
Oh, we shouldn't take his campaign promises seriously.
That's from the party, not from him himself. That's what he said. He said, I didn't say it. The party said it. Don't forget that. He said it. Don't forget that.
Even if the party said it, what kind of government are we running in Nigeria? We are running a party government. He is bound by the promises of his party because we did not vote for him. We voted for the APC, although I didn't. Nigerians voted for APC. And not Muhammadu Buhari. You can know that in the case of Rotimi Amechi in Rivers, who didn't print a poster, who didn't have a ballot box in his name, who did not even campaign and became governor of Rivers State. Because at that time, PDP won. The court says. So he was bound by the promises of the manifesto of his party. He has not given us a different manifesto. It's the manifesto of the party that he is running. Unless he comes out to say, no, I'm no longer an APC presidential candidate that I was. I now run as an independent candidate. He promised that he was going to build the economy. Somebody mentioned the bag of rice for 42,000. When he came up, it was 7,500. He promised that Boko Haram will be finished in 3 months. They are stronger than they are today. All the promises he made, which one did he keep? Christopher Okibo, the poet, has asked, how many million promises can never fill a basket? And you are talking about Buhari making promise to you, and you want to take him serious? He has never kept any promise. And like somebody mentioned, when I complained that nothing has improved in Nigeria since Buhari came on board, and that is true, the person said, no, Barrister, you are wrong. Buhari's health has improved. And that's the only thing we see. So how can you talk about President Muhammadu Buhari making promises that he will keep? When was the End-Start protest? What has followed?
All right, premise number one. He talked about ripping of borders. He has done that.
Okay.
That's part of because you said he hasn't fulfilled any. That's why I said do not generalize.
He has not even reopened borders.
You understand? Do not because hold on, barrister. You know we are following rules and regulations. Do not generalize.
I'm trying my best to.
I know. Not to please me. Not to please because right now when you generalize, you are defeating the objective.
At all.
You use the word any.
He has made. If you say he has reopened the border, can we bring in rice to Nigeria today?
What about the African trade that Nigeria is part of? He made that promise, he has fulfilled it. What about the minimum wage? He has made that promise, he's fulfilled it. There's some governors are dragging because he used the word any. He used the word any. That is where I put my foot down.
That he has kept. Let's take the border.
And he said his health has improved.
Yes,
and that's one of his achievements.
Okay, let's take the borders you mentioned. In the first instance, why did he close the borders? He said he was closing the borders to prevent the influx of light arms and other ammunition from coming to the country, to protect infant industries. What did we see? He pumped so much money into the production of rice in the north. He frustrated the palm oil farmers in the south. Because before he came aboard, fertilizers were coming. You buy one, you get one free, depending on the size of your farm. He stopped that. Many of the projects ongoing in the southern part of Nigeria, he stopped, even road construction. He closed the borders. And we saw, and we know that we had plenty of imported rice coming to the country via the routes from the north. Yeah. It was not in short supply. The price only went up because the merchants in the north, whose borders were closed only in quotes, were bringing them in. Yeah. And in reopening the borders that you are talking about, he said rice was still banned, and the essential things were still banned. He only needed to pressure from our neighboring countries for them to bring their own goods to drop here so that our economy will go from bad to worse. Is that what Nigerians want?
All right, I'll come back to you. Not to worry, I will come back to you. Now, I know that emotions are very, very high because of what's been happening. Nigerians are aware of it. Even the presidency did not deny it. That is the angle we want us to take a look at it from.
When you said he admitted that last year was bad, the country became bad since he came aboard, not just last year.
All right, but according to his speech, he admitted to the fact that things are not really.
What he says, you take.
Okay, fine. Of course, yes, he's our president, and I believe that he's a man of his word. Okay, now with the promises made for 2021, which one do you think he should work on first, Prof? We made promises. Which one do you think he should work on?
No, listen. I said I believe you. That when we hear these promises, I don't expect it to happen.
Why am I expecting? I'm not
Nothing has ever happened. Nothing good has ever happened.
During Christmas at Christmas, do you have light in your house? You have light in your house, Christmas. Well, Nigeria has never been this bad. Has never been this bad. Sometimes I come to why, what's happening to this country? I pack my load from overseas to Nigeria, out of settle here, to teach in the University of Benin. Sometimes I regret it. Let's come to that. Nothing will happen. The only thing will happen is that the Northerner will come to enjoy the government in power. That is the truth. Nigeria have never been this divided. I'm telling you. Nothing is easy now in Nigeria. We're finding it very difficult to live. In fact, we are existing. I don't know how to describe it. Things are, you will see that we are coming now to resume. You go and see, but you see what happened in the university, where you now ask how to buy a plate of rice for students. These are really very, very, very difficult. And I do not see any Messiah soon.
This is where I say we should be optimistic. We should be optimistic. And of course, that is a last line on this discussion, because we have some other people coming to release, express their views and opinions. Definitely.
Yeah, Nigeria is a failed state.
No, you can't say
that.
Okay, because you can't say it's a failed state. That generalizes.
Nigeria is a near failed state. for you to recommend new approach to better the lot of the country because we don't even know where to start from. All sectors of life in Nigeria has failed. And for the president, just like we rightly said, he has made promises right from the beginning, and he has not fulfilled any one. It becomes very difficult for you to now make a recommendation. Let me tell you what will happen. You were talking about the border closure and the opening of the border. Yes, some parts of the borders were closed, while some remained open. You may not agree. When you look at Edo State, for example, you have youths from the north. They are between the range of 19 and 24. They are all males everywhere, all the nook and crannies of Edo State. And when you ask them, they will tell you that they are from Nasarawa State. An incident just happened in Akwa Ibom recently in Umba Itam village, where those youths and herdsmen changed the name of Umba Itam to Nasarawa village and installed their emir. Recently, can't verify. They reacted. So they have tested the water. Tomorrow might be Edo State. Or tomorrow might be, you understand? Yes. So the first they have seen, there's what they call, I mean, copycat. Others will also copy and do same in wherever they are. So my decision is, my take in this is this. If they are all from Nasarawa, and the total population of these immigrants, they are over 200 in Edo State, multiplied by 36 across the nation, that means the population of Nasarawa must have reduced. But if you go to Nasarawa, their population has not yet improved. So they came from the porous border. They are not Nigerians. Okay. And they have an interior motive. What I'm trying to say is that the Bauchi governor once said that an ethnic, for their ethnic nationality anywhere in the world is a Nigerian. So they can come into Nigeria and become a Nigerian citizen. We need to settle down and think of the way forward.
All right.
And the way forward is this. There is a certain ethnic group that believes that they are born to rule. And the only thing that they need in this country is power. Other marginalized ethnic groups, South, Middle Belt, they must come together to agitate or to agitate for the emancipation of their people.
All right.
Or else we will continue to live under the shackles of slavery.
Thank you so much. And of course, Barrister Robinson, thank you for holding your emotions. Please do that. Just maintain it. Gentlemen, I want to really appreciate you for holding on to your emotions. But like what I used to say, it's not good to generalize. When you say you've not done anything, that is not correct, because so many things have been done by this government. Not trying to blow the trumpet of the government, no. So many things. Anyway, not to worry.
Give us an example.
The second we throw more light into it. Barrister Robinson, you're going to give the last line of this discussion. What do you think? I keep asking this question. What do you think you should focus on that will make Nigerians happy? You said you don't have hope, and I want to tell you to please have hope, okay? You can't marginalization, everything will get better. What do you think you should focus on now? You give us regiments of promises.
For there to be
yes.
a Nigeria in 2021, I'm not going to buy a better Nigeria. The government of the day must please look into the issue of unemployment. Every sector is in their need of manpower. The government of the day must try to bring corruption to the level it meant it, bring it down to the level it meant it. It will help us.
All right.
But corruption has skyrocketed under Buhari's watch.
Okay.
We must ensure that there is security. There is no part of the country that is safe today. And the way to go about that is also to beef up the army, beef up the police, and be sincere in the leadership of the various groups. Then, of course, Buhari must ensure, the president must ensure that he sees Nigeria as an entity and must begin to treat every aspect, every section of Nigeria equally. I'll ask you, in Edo State where we are, since 2015, can you point at 1, 2, 3 projects that has happened or that is ongoing?
In the past 4 years, 5 years.
In the past 5 years, in Edo State.
Thank you.
And then we are servicing 2021 budget. We are out of the 13.something trillion. 3.something trillion will be used to service debt. Do we not generate any money in this country?
Okay.
If we spend 3.something trillion naira to service debt, where has all the money gone?
Thank you so much.
A piece of it in Edo State.
Thank you. Thank you. Hold on now. Your time is about to worry. Others will throw more light on this. Appreciate all of you. I want to appreciate you for at least watching your emotions, though it almost went haywire, so to speak. We have to make sure following regulations govern the waves. Okay. Well, you've heard them. Nigerians they're not really happy about the situation. And knowing fully well that many promises, so to speak, not all of it, many promises have been broken, have not been fulfilled. It's difficult for some Nigerians, or most Nigerians, to take the government serious. But I know that with the admittance of the president in his speech, things will definitely get better. All right? But all you hear them say on this platform is their opinion. It has nothing to do with ITV. Gentlemen, I appreciate you once more. Let's get to hear from our second panelist. We'll be right back to continue with the discussion.